All right, junkies. On this week's episode, Brian and I will be heading up to Vortex Optics. We're gonna get some new scopes put on our rifles, and we'll head out, sight them in, then off to the woods we go, junkie style. All right, junkies, we're heading up to Vortex to get a scope put on a nice little Weatherby 30-06 that I inherited from my father-in-law. He actually bought that gun, shoot, it would have been the late 70s, early 80s, and was going to use it on a elk hunt out west, and the person he was going with actually passed away, so they canceled the trip and he never shot the gun. So he gave it to me a few years back with the agreement that I would actually use it and take it out and hunt with it. So I felt this year, seeing he passed away in September, was probably the best opportunity to do that. We're going to head up to Vortex, have the guys up there take a look at it and see what the best optics for it is, and see if we can put it to some good use this year. All right, guys, we're here at Vortex with Ryan. We brought Papa's 30-06 up here to get scoped. So, Ryan, what's the best optics for Wisconsin whitetail hunting here?
Most of the time when we have folks asking for that application, we're not looking for something overly magnified. We want something on the modest range, right? Most shots we're going to run into in Wisconsin are probably going to be between maybe 50 and 300 yards. So there's not a huge precedence for magnification. But optical quality is a really important thing to focus on. And a rule of thumb I always have is quality first, quantity second. So when I'm looking at an .6, it's probably going to use mostly around the Wisconsin area. First thing that comes to mind, the Viper HS 2.5 to 10. This is my favorite scope in general in our line. It's probably our most recommended rifle scope for general hunting. And despite its lower magnification when compared to something like a 4-16 or a 6-24, it'll still do just fine out west too. So if you decide you're going to go hunt elk or mule deer or pronghorn, you're in good shape with that as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. So you're going to get everything squared and mounted up and look for us today?
You bet.
Awesome. Let's get at her.
You bet. So one Viper HS 2.5 to 10, of course. A new Picatinny rail that's going to replace this really cool but antiquated Bueller mount instead of our Pro Series low height rings. If nothing else, I'm going to need a couple of hand tools here. I need a couple of flat screwdrivers. Yeah. All right. I think we're going to be putting a little bit of localized heat on that because that is not going to come out otherwise. That one will. So what this is it's actually a soldering tip, but we're going to let that tip get really hot, and then we're going to start transferring heat from the tip into the fastener so that we can break the chemical compound that they have on the fastener that's locking it in place. I don't want to do direct flame on a high polished blue finish like this because it can char it, and then any bleed over that flame can ruin the finish on the stock. So. Alright, it is likely warm. And there we go. So now, got a new surface and on a new rail. New surface and on a new rail. So this magical goo is called VC3 Vibrotite. It is basically rubber cement for adults. Really, really good compound to use for securing bases or really any threaded component that's going to get exposed to any kind of vibration or stress like recoil of a firearm, even on your archery equipment. It's a great little addition. Just keeps them from walking out. So now we take advantage of the multi-slot mounting surface on Picatinny rail, and so like shooters of different heights can mount an optic up really to fit them more than anything, right? I can shoot a really, really full length of pull on on a rifle or a shotgun, and more often than not, I find myself having to really crawl up on stuff. I can sneak up on the gun and get my nose, mid-wrist on the rifle stock. So being able to push the optic forward again, fit that rifle and rifle scope to me, just helps tremendously in what we'll call the shootability, if you will. So anytime we're mounting a ring, any kind of mount system on a Picatinny rail, most of the time you're gonna have a little bit of gap between this feature, which is called the recoil lug. Most rings will have at least a half, if not a full, and then the gap on the rail. And the trick is when you put it over there, push it forward in that lug, so that as the gun moves rearward in recoil, it's capturing the ring. There's no chance for that slippage. Slippage can be catastrophic on of course, the ring, the rail, the scope.
Your face.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna super snug these yet. We're just gonna set them in there for a test fit, see how this configures. I worked for a gun shop in Minnesota where I'm from. We would set up package guns every year. So it was usually like 50 Remington 870s and 12 and 20 gauge, 100. It's 50 1187s and 12 and 20 gauge, it's 200. And then it was a whole bunch, like 223 and 22 250, 243 varmint stuff for the winter season. And then whoever kind of came in the door, and I was there for about 6.5, 7 years. So a lot.
Cycled through a couple guns, huh?
A handful, yeah. Okay, we're not going to worry about level quite yet. We're just going to see how we are for fitment. So this is about 2 inches too short for me, so it's going to be pretty close. What I want you to do you shoot a shotgun at all? Yep. Okay, so what I call a shotgunner's pose. We do this standing strategically. I want you to bring the gun up, and what I want to see is your head be in like a fixed and floating position. I don't want you to crane forward or pull back. So right now, as I see it, I'd have to move that scope back way more than we have room on the rail to do it. So part of this is shooter form, kind of what you're used to anyway. I would say you have a general tendency to be back further than you do forward. And so think about when you're drawing your bow and you come back, your shoulder rocks back and your back goes flat. Right now, your shoulder's pushed forward. So I want you to try that same pose where your shoulder comes back. And you should sneak up on the gun, or your face anyways, should sneak up on the gun with your shoulder further back. So right now, as you see it, it's going to be right on the threshold. Do you have a full sight picture?
I do.
Okay. How does that feel? Do you feel like your traps or your neck activated?
No.
Okay.
That felt pretty good right there.
Okay. It looks about right. So we want to target about 4 inches on the button.
Yep.
We do it standing. If we did it seated, you'd be further back from the gun. If we do it prone, you'd be really close.
Yeah.
So we do it standing. It's kind of that neutral
spot for it.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to indicate level on the rifle as best as we can, right? Because we're going to level the optic to the rifle, which theoretically should be level to gravity. In general, I think it's just easiest to establish a baseline of level.
All right, I was a little bit worried going up there, seeing how old this gun was, being able to get the scope and everything to make sure it was going to fit. But Ryan, he was a master at what he did. He was able to find the rail, the rings, and everything to fit the scope on this rifle. And he pieced it together perfect. He was a master at his craft. It was amazing watching him do it.
So what we're doing here is just a simple bore sight. So we've taken the bolt out of the rifle, and we are looking down the bore, hence the name, at a strategically placed sign out there at about 75 yards. I'm going to center that sign in the middle of the bore, and then I'm going to adjust the scope so that it too is centered on the sign. And this will save us a bunch of time and ammo on the range.
All right, folks, if you're looking for some great scopes, great customer service, head out to Barneville, Wisconsin. We're at Vortex here. It's 1 Vortex Drive. We can get our scopes installed, even if you didn't buy a scope here, which we highly recommend getting a Vortex. They still will do the work on it. So come out, meet Ryan, have him do some work for you, and Vortex is where it's at. Thanks again, bud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking to stand out from your competitors and increase your brand awareness?
Yeah, baby! Woo!
Then advertise with Outdoor Junkies and reach your target audience. From new product reviews and product placement on our show, our team will enhance your marketing strategy and generate new clients.
Oh, yeah!
Contact us today at 262-607-6399 or check out our website at outdoorjunkies.tv and get your fix.
What's up, junkies? I'm on our northern Wisconsin property, over my Grandpa Ray's food plot. I kind of got it in late this year, so it's only about 6 inches high, but just the simple fact that looking around the area and everything is already turning dead and brown, and I've got this nice big patch of green out in front of me. Tomorrow is the youth hunt, and I've got my niece Lydia and my brother Mike coming up, and hopefully we're gonna get her first whitetail. So stay tuned, junkies. Let's hopefully get a little action here, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Lydia Wickersham, and I'm up north, and I'm here for the 2017 youth hunt, and I'm hunting with my uncle Brian and my dad Mike. This is my 3rd time up here for the youth hunt.
Brian came up and did a little scouting early, and we're excited to get down there. He's been seeing some nice deer. Said there's a nice 8-pointer that's been running around and a bunch of smaller scrub bucks that would be a good first deer for her. So we're sitting out there, and it's been raining all morning, and we saw a doe way across the field, and we thought maybe that was going to be the only thing we saw, and the hours are ticking by, and we're getting ready to get out of the stand because, with no deer coming around in the rain, we just figured, let's go get something to eat. All of a sudden, we see on the other side of the food plot that there's a little 6-pointer kind of browsing on this strip that Bri put in.
So at first we saw the 6-pointer coming in, and then it started it just stopped, and then the 8-pointer was right behind it.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes the 8-pointer that Brian scouted Friday night. And then we knew something special was going to happen. Pull the hammer back. Settle down, he's coming.
And then it was just coming right towards us, and I kind of had a feeling that something bigger was behind the 6-pointer.
All right, now wait for him to turn sideways.
Nice job, Lydia!
I'll tell you, folks, if you don't get your kids in the woods, you can't experience the emotion that I got to experience with my daughter taking her first deer. I don't know, I think I was more excited for her to get her first deer than I was when I got my own.
The Wickersham boys are pretty pumped right now for Lydia. That was awesome. That was freaking sweet. 2 bucks came in. First deer out of the shadow hunter on the Grandpa Ray's food plot. Awesome.
What do you think of your first deer?
Awesome moment.
Pretty cool.
That freaking made the weekend right there.
Oh, that's so awesome. And I look at Bubba, and we're high-fiving, and we're excited. And all of a sudden, we look at Lydia, and she's just in tears. Tears of happiness, tears of sadness. These are noble creatures that we are lucky enough to hunt. And we appreciate the woods. We've always appreciated our kids, myself, my brothers, on respecting the animals, respecting the life. So after we explained to her how this is how we fill the freezer, this is what happens, she was excited again. And now I think we might have a junkie hooked for life.
That's the one I saw last night. Just tap him. He's done. Hand the gun over to Mike. The gun.
Hey folks, we got this one on the ground. The old shadow hunter kept us dry. Came right out onto the Grandpa Ray food plots. And you did your job. What'd you think about this?
It's pretty fun, I guess.
I am so proud that I got to be here for this moment. Got to watch Lydia take this deer. It was just an awesome time. Awesome way to hopefully get her into hunting and enjoy the sport. She got to spend time with her dad and her uncle, and I couldn't be more proud of her.
Well, I think we're gonna go get the wheeler.
All right.
Quit getting rained on. Good job, hon. Come here. Give me a hug.
I'm pretty excited because we're gonna get it mounted, and yeah, should be pretty cool. I'm a junkie now. I'm hooked.
Outdoor Junkies is brought to you by Bait Box on the Rock, Wisco Meats, Hunting Gear, Custom Jigs and Spins, Bear Sets, E-Fish and Tackle, and these fine sponsors. This has been a Stone Lake production.
First morning, 2022 deer season. I'm super stoked. I got the rifle out, got the new Vortex scope on it. Never shot a deer opening day. The weather's perfect. Got Alex filming with me. It's gonna be a great day. Not so great. Ended up being like 25, 30 mile an hour winds. Didn't see too much deer movement till about 9 o'clock, and then I finally seen a shooter come out. It was just a little bit outside of my range and then in some thick stuff, so I decided to pass him. As you can see, he kind of was chasing a doe, walked back around, lost him. We thought we were done. And about 30 minutes later, he made his appearance again. Came out on the other side of the slough. It was really thick stuff again. I couldn't get a shot on him. Took him about 15, 20 minutes to travel to the creek. Trying to tell Alex he's there. He's not really believing, because sometimes we joke around a little bit too much, and he was really thinking that there was no deer there. Well, this deer ended up stalling like in front of us, just about 75 yards, right behind a tree where you legitimately couldn't see him. If I hadn't seen him with my own eyes, stand there or walk behind the tree, I wouldn't have believed he was there either. So another 15, 20 minutes goes by, and well, that deer decided to make his appearance. He stepped out around the corner. I gave Alex a tap, and well, you'll see the rest is history.
Where'd he come out of nowhere? I told you I seen a big buck. Where'd he come from? I told you I seen a big deer, dude.
Where'd he come from? How did we not hear him? I've never shot a deer opener day.
I told you. Big body deer walked through this thicket right here. Then I lost him, and then I seen him walk to the creek edge, and he's only like 50 yards away from me, and I could not find him. There's a big old tree right there. I thought he was stopped behind the tree or whatever, laid down. Didn't see him. What, 30 minutes goes by? 30 minutes or so goes by. He stands up behind the tree and starts just walking right over here, like Alex Buck. He thinks I'm BSing him. He's like, hey, whatever. Look back, what, 10 yards away?
Yeah.
10 yards away.
I'm trying to open up the camera. I'm trying to get
right underneath us. Just smoked him. He just ran over there and tipped over about 75 yards away. So we're gonna get down and go see, get some hands on him, take a look how good he is. Yeah, I got it done. This is the first deer I've ever shot on opening morning. I'm freaking stoked.
Not gonna be fun getting them back.
Oh, getting them back's gonna be suck. All right, junkies, stay tuned. All right, we got some good blood right here. Let's see if we can try to find them. I can hear him this way about 100 yards.
There's blood right there. Right in front. 12 o'clock. See it in the leaves? Yeah. he did drop what he said. Let's see what he looks like.
Oh, that's a good deer.
Oh yeah, he's rotten. He's got a big neck on him.
Yeah, he's really good. I'm happy with it. That's a big body deer. Look at his neck on it. Alright, this is kind of a special deal for me. Not only is this the first deer I've ever shot on opening day, I always have to wait, but my father-in-law, he passed away this year, September actually, and he gave me this gun years ago and told me that I needed to use it. He bought it to go on a hunt himself and was never able to do it, so I took it to our friends at Vortex this fall, had them scope it up and dialed it in this week, and came out and wanted to do him proud and put down a buck for him, so I got it done. Thank you, Don. This was awesome. This hunt's for you, buddy, so yeah, good deer. Great time.
Thanks for watching this week's episode. Tune in next week for more junkie action.